Have you ever found yourself lying awake at night, perhaps after a quiet evening, wondering why things just aren't quite the same as they used to be? It's a question many men silently ponder, a whisper of concern about their ability to achieve and maintain an erection, especially as the years go by. This isn't just about physical sensation. It touches deeply on confidence, intimacy, and a fundamental part of feeling like yourself. For many, this challenge becomes a source of quiet frustration, even embarrassment, making them feel isolated. But what if I told you that a common, seemingly harmless habit you might have adopted over the years could be silently, subtly undermining your natural ability to get hard? It's a habit that often goes unexamined because it feels so personal, so private. Yet, from my perspective as a penis surgeon, I've seen time and again how this particular pattern, innocent as it may seem, can rewire your body's responses in ways that make natural, spontaneous erections incredibly difficult. In this video, we're going to pull back the curtain on this often overlooked mistake, understand how it impacts your erections, and more importantly, uncover practical, straightforward steps you can take to reverse its effects and reclaim your sexual vitality. Watch to the end for something that will surprise you and give you a powerful new perspective, one that could truly transform your experience. Let's get right into it. The single biggest mistake I consistently observe, one that gradually diminishes a man's natural erectile response, revolves around an over-reliance on a very specific, often intensely aggressive, and repetitive method of self-stimulation. Now, before you jump to conclusions, this isn't about judging the act of masturbation itself. It's about how it's done and the profound impact that specific technique can have on your body's ability to respond to natural, varied forms of stimulation. Think about it. Over years, many men develop a highly efficient, very particular method of self-pleasure, often characterized by a strong, singular grip, rapid friction, and an almost singular focus on achieving orgasm as quickly as possible. This pattern, while effective for immediate gratification, inadvertently trains your brain and your body's nerve endings to expect an extremely high, almost artificial, level of input to become aroused and achieve an erection. It's like turning up the volume on your television to maximum whenever you watch it. Eventually, a normal, comfortable volume sounds too quiet, almost inaudible. Your system becomes desensitized to anything less than that extreme input. The way this silently kills your ability to get hard is multifaceted, touching both the physical and neurological aspects of your sexual response. Firstly, there's the issue of nerve desensitization. The nerves in the penis, much like any other sensory nerves in your body, adapt to consistent stimuli. If they are constantly subjected to very high pressure, high friction, or rapid-paced stimulation, they become accustomed to it. This means that when you encounter gentler, more varied, and nuanced stimulation, the kind you typically experience during partnered intimacy, or even during natural, spontaneous arousal, your penis simply doesn't register it as strongly. It's like trying to feel a soft feather after having just grabbed a handful of sandpaper. The delicate sensation is lost. Your brain has learned to prioritize and respond only to that specific, intense signal. Secondly, and perhaps even more significantly, this habit rewires your brain's arousal and reward pathways. Your brain, being an incredibly efficient learning machine, starts to associate sexual pleasure and orgasm predominantly with that specific, often rigid, self-stimulation pattern. It builds a very strong neural pathway. This can lead to a phenomenon where your brain expects that exact sequence of events, that precise intensity, that particular rhythm, to initiate and sustain an erection when those precise conditions aren't met. Say, during intimacy with a partner where stimulation is naturally more varied, less mechanical, and often less aggressively focused, your brain struggles to turn on the erectile response. It's not that you're not attracted or interested. It's that your physiological on switch has been calibrated to a very narrow frequency. This often manifests as difficulty getting an erection at all, or losing it quickly, because the brain isn't receiving the familiar, hyper-intense cues it has been conditioned to expect. This can lead to a vicious cycle of performance anxiety, where the fear of not being able to perform further inhibits the erectile response, making the problem even worse. It's a subtle but powerful conditioning process that, over years, can make achieving a spontaneous, natural erection feel like an impossible task. It's crucial to understand that this isn't about inherent weakness or lack of desire, but rather a learned physiological response that can, thankfully, be unlearned. The good news is, just as your brain and body adapted to this specific pattern, they can also be retrained to respond to a wider, more natural range of stimuli, opening the door to a more fulfilling and responsive sexual experience. Understanding the problem is the first crucial step. But now, what can we actually do about it? The answer lies in patiently and deliberately re-educating your nerves and your brain. It's about broadening your sensory vocabulary and teaching your body to appreciate a wider spectrum of touch and arousal. Let's dive into some practical, actionable steps you can start taking today. The first habit to cultivate, and it's a big one, is varying your technique and pressure during self-stimulation. If your current routine involves a consistent death grip or a singular, aggressive hand motion, it's time to consciously break that pattern. Experimentation is key here. Instead of always using the same hand, try switching hands. More importantly, focus on varying the pressure. Begin with a much lighter touch than you're accustomed to. Explore feather-light caresses, using just your fingertips or the flat of your palm. Try using a lubricant or a light oil to reduce friction and allow for smoother, less abrasive movements. The goal is to stimulate different nerve endings and to experience sensation without overwhelming them. Change the speed and rhythm too. Don't always rush to the finish line. Spend time exploring, lingering on sensations, moving slowly and deliberately. This deliberate variation helps to resensitize the nerve endings in your penis, teaching them to respond to a broader range of tactile input. It's like retuning a delicate instrument. You're bringing it back into harmony with the subtle nuances of touch. When you consistently practice this, you'll find that during partnered intimacy, your body will be far more receptive and responsive to lighter, more natural forms of stimulation, as it won't be constantly expecting that singular, intense input it was previously conditioned to receive. Building on that, the second powerful habit is to slow down and shift your focus from solely achieving orgasm to truly building sustained arousal. This is a profound shift in mindset. Many men treat self-pleasure like a quick pit stop. Get in, get out. But this misses a huge opportunity to retrain your body for sustained excitement. When you're with a partner, arousal isn't typically a sudden, intense burst. It's a gradual buildup, a dance of touch, connection, and anticipation. You can replicate this process in your self-pleasure instead of racing towards orgasm. Intentionally pause when you feel yourself getting close. Take a few deep breaths. Let the sensation subside a little. Then gently re-engage. This technique, often called edging or controlled stimulation, helps to build your capacity for prolonged arousal without the immediate pressure of climax. It teaches your brain and body to sustain an erection even when the immediate, intense stimulation isn't present. It's like learning to savor a fine meal rather than just wolfing it down. You're teaching your system to enjoy the entire journey of arousal, not just the destination. This practice also strengthens the neural pathways associated with maintaining an erection through varying levels of excitement, which is invaluable during partnered sex. Thirdly, and this is a crucial yet often overlooked aspect, integrate mental stimulation and imagination into your self-pleasure. So many men, especially as they get older, rely almost exclusively on physical input to get aroused. But our minds are incredibly powerful sexual organs. If you've been relying on very specific external visual stimuli, or just brute physical force, your brain might have become lazy in terms of its own creative contribution to arousal. Begin to actively engage your fantasies, memories, and desires when you're stimulating yourself. Instead of just focusing on the physical sensation, allow your mind to wander into scenarios that truly excite you. Visualize them vividly. Think about what truly ignites your desire, not just what provides immediate physical relief. This practice helps to re-establish the vital mind-body connection that is absolutely essential for natural, robust erections. Erections aren't just about blood flow. They're fundamentally driven by signals from your brain. By actively engaging your imagination and mental landscape, you're strengthening those neural pathways, making your erections more responsive to genuine desire and less dependent on an almost mechanical level of physical input. It's about rekindling the spark of imagination and desire that contributes so much to sexual health and satisfaction. These changes in technique and mindset might feel awkward or less immediately gratifying at first, but with patience and persistence, they will pave the way for a more sensitive, responsive, and ultimately more fulfilling sexual experience, whether alone or with a partner. Beyond the physical act itself, our overall approach to intimacy and self-care plays a massive role in whether your body can recalibrate its sexual response. This brings us to a fourth, often counterintuitive, but incredibly powerful habit. Considering a temporary reduction in frequency or even a short break from self-stimulation, especially if you're stuck in a very rigid, problematic pattern. Let me be clear. This isn't about shaming or suggesting that masturbation is inherently bad. It's quite the opposite. For many, it's a healthy and normal part of life. However, if you've developed an extremely specific, high-intensity habit that has led to desensitization, sometimes a brief period of reduced frequency or a short reset can work wonders. Think of it like taking a break from a very noisy environment to appreciate silence again. Your nervous system needs a chance to lower its baseline of expected stimulation. This isn't about abstinence as a permanent solution, but as a deliberate, temporary strategy to allow your brain and nerves to reset their sensitivity thresholds. During this time, you might notice that subtle sensations become more prominent, and your body becomes more responsive to gentler touch. It helps to break the ingrained neural pathways of that problematic technique and creates an opportunity for new, healthier ones to form. It gives your system a chance to breathe, so to speak, and become more receptive to the types of stimulation that foster natural, unforced erections. Finally, and this underpins everything we've discussed, remember the profound connection between your overall holistic health and your sexual function. While this specific mistake during self-stimulation is a critical piece of the puzzle, it doesn't exist in a vacuum. Your ability to get and maintain an erection is intricately linked to your cardiovascular health, your hormonal balance, your stress levels, your sleep quality, and even your diet. Think of it as creating the ideal garden for your sexual health to flourish. Eating a balanced diet rich in whole foods, getting regular physical activity, even just consistent walking, managing stress through mindfulness or hobbies, and prioritizing consistent, restorative sleep are not just general health recommendations. They are direct contributors to healthy erectile function. If you have underlying health conditions like high blood pressure, diabetes, or heart disease, managing those with your doctor is paramount. These lifestyle choices support the blood flow, nerve health, and hormonal balance that are all vital for robust erections, making the resensitization work we've talked about much more effective. They create a foundation of vitality that enhances your body's natural responsiveness. So, we've talked about moving away from that single, intense, mechanical pattern of self-stimulation, embracing variety in your touch, slowing down to build sustained arousal, engaging your powerful imagination, allowing for some recalibration by reducing frequency, and always supporting your overall health with good lifestyle choices. These are not quick fixes, but sustainable, empowering shifts. Remember, your body is incredibly adaptable, and your sexual health is no exception. It takes patience, self-compassion, and consistent effort to unlearn old habits and cultivate new ones. Don't be discouraged if you don't see immediate results. This is a journey of rediscovery, not a race. And here's that surprise I promised you. The powerful new perspective. The greatest benefit of addressing this isn't just about fixing an erection. It's about something much deeper. It's about rediscovering a more nuanced, more satisfying, and ultimately more authentic connection with your own body. It's about cultivating a sexual experience that isn't dependent on extreme input or rigid patterns, but one that flows naturally from desire, sensation, and connection. Whether with yourself or a partner, it's about reclaiming a part of your vitality that you might have thought was gone forever, feeling more confident, more alive, and more deeply connected to your masculine self. You deserve to experience a fulfilling sexual life. No matter your age, this isn't about shame. It's about empowerment and understanding. If this conversation resonated with you, if you found yourself nodding along, please share your thoughts or experiences in the comments below. Your stories and insights are invaluable and help others feel less alone on this journey. Give this video a like if you found it helpful, and subscribe to my channel for more honest, practical advice on navigating the challenges and opportunities of aging with grace, strength, and confidence in every aspect of your well-being. You have the power to make these positive changes. Live your best life at every age, embracing every aspect of your well-being, including your sexual health. You absolutely deserve it.